Welcome to the Talkin VAWLS Network. My name is Boogie Bentley. This is hopefully going to be my last video on Boo Carter. Then we're going to put this thing to bed. Look, I just made a video on the whole situation a few hours ago. Is there, should there be some red flags? The way that things went down with Boo Carter, the way that things went down with Nico Iamaleava, kind of looking at that thing from both sides of it. But Josh Heupel just met with the media. He got his moment. He got his mic drop moment when it comes to the situation with Boo Carter. And there's been a lot of speculation, a lot of talk, a lot of chatter about whether or not Boo Carter was even injured. And it starts here, announcing that he's going to enter the transfer portal. You can see it on the screen. Unfortunately, my season has been cut short due to injury. I have decided to enter the transfer portal, and I'm excited about the opportunities going forward. Now, it's not just this tweet, right? It all goes back to Saturday when the rumors kind of started circulating that Boo Carter was being kicked off of this football team. And then John Bryce from Football Scoop goes to Twitter and says that Boo Carter is injured and will not be playing in the game today. Fast forward to kickoff. Boo Carter doesn't show up at Neyland Stadium. All of these were red flags. Where there is smoke, there is fire. And when we kind of laid it out and talked about it, I said, something's not adding up here, right? Because we can go back to the Oklahoma game. We can even go back to the Kentucky game where I think Boo Carter played around 20, 21 snaps, somewhere along the lines of that. That's the game where it really started to stand out that Boo wasn't giving his all for Tennessee. He wasn't giving that effort on the field. We saw it. Press man coverage, you get beat over the top. You stop running around the 15, 20-yard line. You quit. You quit on your teammates. You quit on your team. You could see it. From there, he doesn't play a single snap on defense against Oklahoma, but he returns punts. And we see his mom taking to social media and saying, y'all don't understand, Boo's hurt. And I made a video talking about that. I'm like, is Boo hurt or is Boo benched? Why is Boo returning punts, but he's not playing a single snap on defense? Something isn't adding up. If Boo's hurt, why is he not on the injury report? Has Boo been benched or is Boo hurt? Something didn't add up to me. And again, Josh Heupel got his moment. Josh Heupel got his mic drop moment. We're going to get into it. We're going to talk about it. But as always, I need you guys to do the YouTube stuff. Smash the thumbs up below the video. Quick, free, easy helps the channel. I would greatly appreciate it. If it's your first time here, welcome to the Talkin VAWLS Network. We're not experts. We're not insiders. We're not media. We don't pretend to be that. What we are is exactly what you guys are. It's for the fans, by the fans. If you like it, subscribe. Click the bell for notifications. You won't miss out when we go live or when we drop a video. Going to be live tomorrow night, 6:30 p.m. Eastern time. Playing EA Sports College Football, but we talk all things Tennessee football. Also, Wednesday night, 7 p.m. Eastern time, Talkin VAWLS Live. We're going to break down this game against Florida coming up on Saturday. We'll be live Friday morning, Saturday, an hour before kickoff, and also immediately following the game. But let's kind of kick it off here and take a listen to what Josh Heupel said when he met with the media. And again, he had his mic drop moment. He had his big moment at the end. But I want to take a listen to what he said first, kicking this thing off. Let's take a listen here to what Josh Heupel said, opening comments about Boo Carter.
Josh, I'll go ahead and get a Boo Carter question out of the way.
There we go.
He's obviously off the team now. You back in camp, you gave him a second chance and you put parameters around that. When that happens, when you give a player a second chance and it doesn't pan out like Boo, are you disappointed in the player, or are you more regretful that you even gave that second chance?
No, not regretful. At the end of the day, it's our job as coaches to try to help mold these guys, and that's a part of the commitment that you make, in the recruiting process and when they decide to come. And sometimes it works out, sometimes it doesn't, and at the end of the day, we're moving forward.
I love that response from Josh Heupel. And look, sometimes on this channel, I don't know if I'm talking out of both sides of my mouth or my opinion lies somewhere in the middle. So I kind of just lay out both sides of the story and let you guys engage in conversation in the live chat, in conversation in the comment section. And I've kind of watched that play out over the last 48 hours or so when it comes to Boo Carter. And we go back to July, right before fall camp. And we ask, should Boo Carter have been kicked off this team? Hindsight's always 20/20. You look at the way the season played out, and it's easy to sit here and go, yeah, he should have been kicked off of the team. He didn't contribute to this team. He didn't bring anything to this team in 2025. That's easy. But if you rewind time How did you feel about it in July? Should Boo Carter have been kicked off? You're looking at a football team that's without Jermod McCoy. Your best safety and Jacoby Thomas hit the transfer portal. Later, we would find out Ricky Gibson goes down for the year. Of course, you didn't know that at the time. Were you still willing to cut ties with Boo Carter? Some people want to talk about how it's all about money and these kids don't care. Josh Heupel has a job to do. That's to coach football, but it's also to mold, to shape young men. And we talk about second opportunities and giving Boo Carter a chance and hoping that Boo Carter would learn from that and he would grow from that. Didn't work out. I think you can't just quit on kids, but how many opportunities do you get? When is enough enough? Again, we could go through everything that happened in the rumors of a locker room altercation and all that stuff that went down. Josh Heupel still met with this leadership council. They still made a decision to give Boo another opportunity, and it didn't work out. So again, I can look at it from both sides. Should Boo have been cut loose back in July? I don't know. And we've kind of had this conversation of, did Josh Heupel do Boo Carter a favor? What's different between Boo and Nico? Well, the transfer portal was still open for Nico. Nico still had an opportunity. Boo didn't. What happens if Josh Heupel gives up on Boo Carter? What happens if Josh Heupel quits on Boo Carter and then Boo Carter has to walk away from football? Misses the entire 2025 season. Again, you guys have seen the rumors. You guys have seen the speculation. You guys have seen the talk. You guys can believe whatever you want to believe. What does Boo's life look like away from football? I don't know the answer to that. I know a lot of the stuff I see. And if that stuff is true, Boo Carter needs the game of football. And Josh Heupel gave him an opportunity to right the ship, and it didn't work out. And, you know, maybe for Boo Carter as a person, as a football player, as a football team, I couldn't care less. I care about the University of Tennessee. I'm not team Boo Carter. I'm not team Nico Iamaleava. I pull for Tennessee. That's it. That's all I care about. But as a man, as a person, you hope Boo Carter figures this out. You hoped getting an opportunity back in July would help him figure this out. It didn't work out. Maybe this was the moment that he needed. Maybe it doesn't work out. Maybe he continues to repeat this pattern. A lot of people talk about high school and what he did in high school and how he carried himself in high school, transferring from one school to the next. Maybe it's just a repeated pattern and Boo Carter's never going to turn that corner. Again, the reason I wanted to jump on and make this video, I like, number one, the response from Josh Heupel there as a coach, as a mentor. But then two, I love Josh Heupel calling out the facts. Again, the speculation. Boo Carter's hurt. He didn't play in the Oklahoma game because he's hurt. Nobody else on this team can return punts. That's what Mama Boo said. It's all over social media. That's not allegedly. That's fact. Those posts are out there. He's hurt. Nobody else on this team can return punts. That's why he didn't play defense against Oklahoma. Is that the case? Again, I ask, why was Boo Carter not listed on the injury report if he was hurt? Josh Heupel asked point blank, was Boo Carter hurt? Why was Boo Carter not on the injury report? Let's take a listen to Josh Heupel with the mic drop.
Just to follow up on Boo, he claimed he was injured. He was never on the SEC availability report. Should he have been on the SEC availability report over the past month?
No, sir. Not based on our trainers.
The look on his face says it all. Josh Heupel wasn't going to come out and say that. Josh Heupel was not going to throw Boo Carter and Boo's camp under the bus. But when given the opportunity, Boo Carter should not have been on the injury report. Boo Carter was not injured. That doesn't mean you're not hurt. Doesn't mean you're not banged up. But we've seen guys on this team that have been hurt and banged up going out there and competing. We've seen Arian Carter battle through 2 turf toes the entire year to give his all for Tennessee. When you walk out of that locker room and you slap that sign that says you're going to give your all, did you truly give your all? Did you? I'll ask you. I don't think so. I don't think so. Josh Heupel with the mic drop. Boo Carter was not hurt. Boo Carter should not have been on the injury list. He was benched. This is my opinion. He was benched. He didn't like it. He tucked tail and left. Best of luck in your future endeavors. That is a wrap on the Boo Carter era. I am done talking about Boo Carter. What are your thoughts? Show them in the comment section. Let's talk about it. As always, smash the thumbs up on the way out the door. I would appreciate it. Go check out our merchandise, bonfire.com/store/Talkin VAWLS. You can also support the channel by hitting the join button down below. It's only $1 a month. You help keep the lights on so we can bring you content about Tennessee football every single day of the year. But that is going to do it for this one. This is the Talkin VAWLS Network. My name is Boogie Bentley. Go Big Orange.